then, welcome back to player ratings. We'll go for every single player here. There is only 11. I can't give Obi Martin a score for coming on for 3 minutes and not actually doing anything. So let's have a look at what I'm going to call a brutally honest and statistical breakdown of a shambolic performance. Right, Onana. 40 touches, 70% pass accuracy, 19 out of 27. Only 3 out of 11 accurate long balls. He is pissing me off with his long balls. Lost possession 11 times. Obviously, 8 of that came just trying to smash it long down the pitch. United needed a goalkeeper to step up in a tight game, and he didn't. He made a mistake that led to the only goal of the game. Top-level keepers are going to push that ball aside. He didn't. He pushed it right into the danger area. Yes, the defence should have reacted quicker, but hold it or parry it sideways or put it over. Don't put it... You basically get an assist for that. That wasn't a disaster class. He did make 6 saves in the game, but he could have done better with the one that literally led to a goal. And he started this season fantastically, but the last couple of months, the defence isn't helping him, but he ain't helping himself either. 5 out of 10. Dalot, 6.5, probably our best defender. 91% pass accuracy with 39 out of 43. He actually had 1 key pass, 7 clearances, 4 block shots, 2 interceptions, 3 tackles, and won all 7 of his duels. Defensively, absolutely solid. Probably was partially at fault for not reacting quick enough to the goal. Him and Maguire were both right in the area and neither did anything for it. But he won every single duel, made some real key interventions. But he didn't really lead the line. He was another one, I think, that could have moved that line higher. There were so many times where United just stood in our box. Clear the fucking box. Why was Spurs finding pockets of space so easy? Get up the fucking pitch and squeeze. Stop allowing this back 8 bullshit to persist. United needed somebody to take control. Maguire wasn't going to do it. Ligt didn't do it. They were doing their jobs fine individually, but how about be a fucking leader and impose yourself on a game that can actually have an impact? 6.5. Maguire, 44 touches, again 91% pass accuracy with 31 out of 34. 1 block shot, 3 tackles, 5 duels, 1. Again, not directly at fault, but again a little bit too passive. Lead this fucking back line. You know, you used to be the captain, you aren't anymore. Doesn't mean that you can't lead this line. Very conservative and safe. Wasn't aggressive enough in his in possession. Wasn't aggressive enough without with defending. Lack of pace meant that you have to drop a little bit when you're being countered. Looks like a presence, isn't a presence. 5.5 out of 10. Mazraoui, 6 out of 10. 65 touches, 96% pass accuracy, only 2 misplaced passes, 46 out of 48. He had 1 key pass, 3 clearances, 2 interceptions, 5 tackles, won 7 of 15 duels. But his pass stats are misleading. 96% pass accuracy sounds good, but he didn't do a lot with the ball. Very safe when he plays at centre-half. Doesn't take risks. And was... Would I say targeted or would I say struggled? He was dribbled past 5 times, which is the worst of any of the United players in there. I wouldn't call him a defensive liability, but I think he was targeted and showing maybe he's not suited to play in centre-half. But he's played like 4 different positions for us this year. 5, actually, if you include the number 10 that he played under Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal? Erik ten Hag. Jesus. I'm going to change the rating. He's getting a 5. Yeah, safe when he needed it to be, but not safe enough when we didn't have the ball. Dalot, it's another 4.5 for Dalot. 44 out of 51 passes, no key passes, 5 crosses, 0 accurate, 2 out of 6 duels, 1. I don't know what he's doing when he's crossing the ball. His attacking contribution is non-existent, and he was totally pedestrian into defence. Spurs overloaded down his side, and he did nothing about it. His inconsistency is actually, it's not inconsistency. It's very consistent. He's just not good enough at the moment. He is a liability in this team at the moment. And it's annoying because when you get word about what people are like in training, Dalot is one of the ones that gives a shit. And Dalot is one of the ones that turns up and he's early and he's doing extras. But it's not showing on the pitch. Either he's not a fit for this system or I don't know what's going on. But that's annoying because he was poor. Casemiro, 5.5 out of 10. So 76 touches, 83% pass accuracy, 2 key passes, 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 2 interceptions, 7 tackles, 11 out of 18 duels won. He worked hard. And I actually, a lot of you disagreed with this. And that's fine. But I thought when he was on the ball, I thought the decision making he was doing was intelligent. He did lose some, obviously, but he made 2 key passes and he was spreading the play nice. I thought he was a perfectly adequate addition to the team after being out of the team for so long. I thought his positioning was really good. Him and Bruno should not work as a double pivot at all, and I think it only came close to it, and I would argue it didn't really work, but it only came close to working because of what he was doing. Bruno's too erratic. You need someone that's going to be a bit more of an anchor. And even though United were getting ran through a little bit in the transition, it was Casemiro that was the one that was closest to being in the right position. Alongside a Ugarte, I think that would have looked absolutely sound. He's able to win his tackles. 11 out of 18 duels, basically on your own in that midfield. He put in a good showing. And, for whatever reason that wasn't recognised, I don't know if that was a commentary or people just not quite clocking the stuff that he was doing. He's not deserved to have been put on ice over the last 3-4 months the way he has been. So to come in from the cold, lacking match fitness, to do that on your own in a midfield like that against Spurs, I think it needs a little bit more respect than it got. Still only a 5.5 out of 5, but it is what it is. Bruno, 4. 79% pass accuracy, 56 out of 71. 4 key passes, 11 crosses, 4 accurate. Better with his long balls, which is something that I've always liked about his ability to play the ball from deep and get you up the pitch. 13 out of 17 is nice. Lost the ball 28 times. But it was typical Bruno. It was frantic, it was erratic, it was frustration, there was chance creation, and a lot of possession lost. The decision-making from him at times was poor. He's too eager to defend, and actually that leads to him not actually doing a lot of defending, because a lot of defending sometimes is just holding a position. And he's too giddy for that. United's midfield lacks cohesion. And he was a massive part of the reason why. I think if it might have been the game to play him off a striker and go a little bit more solid in midfield. I get there wasn't a hell of a lot of options, but surely there was some options. 4. Dorgu, 4.5. 81% pass accuracy, 25 out of 31. 2 key passes, 5 crosses, 1 of them was accurate. 4 tackles, but this is the important bit for Dorgu. 9 out of 10 duels won. Quite anonymous for a lot of the game. Did way more defending than he would have wanted to do. This is an attacking fullback. And do you know what? No, I'm giving him a 5. He won his duels, but he didn't do anything meaningful with the ball for someone that is meant to be an attacking fullback. So a really weird kind of play from him. United wanted control in midfield. He was unable to help that. We wanted more penetration going forward. A lot of the reason why maybe it didn't work out going forward is like Garnacho just did not want to pass to the guy. That was weird. So 5. But I'm pleasantly surprised and pleased with the duel winning ability of him. I like that, and that comes from that just raw physicality that he brings to the table, which I think is a very, very positive trait that he's got. Garnacho, I'm going to say 4.5. Garnacho, 13 out of 18 passes completed, 13 times lost possession. That's a crazy stat. He made 1 key pass. No crosses completed. And he had 4 shots. 1 big chance missed. 1 huge chance missed. The end product was just non-existent from him. He works hard. He absolutely works hard and he gets into good areas. But his decision-making is just abysmal. The one that is slung over the bar, you've just got to hit the target. You've got to test the keeper. And the amount of times he tries to cross when there's 2 and 3 defenders in front of him. Can somebody not sit him down and be like, this, you're not crossing it from here. You're not. When you get doubled up on, that like 1v1, I would encourage you to play with risk and try and beat your man all day long. Anytime you're 1v1, the job of a winger is, can you beat that man? When a second man comes, just pass it back to the fullback. Just keep the ball. Because all you're going to do is smash it off someone there and we get a corner and actually we don't do anything from corners. So what's the fucking point in winning corners? 4.5. Zirkzee, 3.5. 21 out of 26 passes, 1 key pass, 4 out of 13 duels. Has he got no mirrors in his house? Does he not see that he looks like he does some part-time work for Salford Reds as a second rower? He's absolutely massive. Why can't he win duels? He missed a massive chance. He does not get into the box to get on the end of stuff. Completely ineffective as an attacking output. He might be better playing him centre mid. United needed a physical presence in the team and he was like, that's not me. How is it not you? Look at you. Be the bigger person and be a fucking unit and play like one. We need you to be a physical presence. You're not. We need you to be a goal threat. You're not. What the fuck do you do? Not good enough. And Rasmus Hojlund, 3 out of 10. 7 passes. 1 out of 9 duels won. You was on the pitch for the entire game. Are you serious? No presence. No impact. No threat. No movement. You can talk about lack of service all day long if you want, but you've got to come on and do something. 3 out of 10. Just not anywhere near good enough. Obi Martin. I can't give him a score. He came on far too late. He literally didn't. In fact, Joe, let me pull it up. Just to make sure. Yeah, there's literally not a single touch, not a single tackle. There was literally nothing to rate him on. And he still did about as much as Hojlund. Amorim, 4 out of 10. There were chances created, but we were passive, we were predictable, we were uncoordinated defensively. The midfield spacing was horrendous. The attack looked like it had very little plan. The substitutions are probably the most egregious thing about that entire performance on you as a manager. Take a fucking risk. The game was there to be won. And Manchester United is built on playing with risk. Play with some fucking risk. I think you'll get time. But performances like that are inexcusable. And 15th in the league, it is crisis territory. And how much of that is on you? Honestly, not that much. But some of it is. Some of it is. You can't win 3 or 4 or whatever it is in fucking 12. It's just not acceptable at all. Our form in the league is totally unacceptable. There is a... you want to stick to this very clear tactical philosophy, but there is a complete lack of tactical identity from the team. What are we trying to do? Where's the movement patterns that we're trying to do? The midfield spacing was horrendous. Bruno was just everywhere. And Casemiro, as we remember from anyone who watched United last season, he can't cover a midfield on his own. The attacking threat from Garnacho, Zirkzee and Howson is nil pois. No urgency, no fight. And some of that urgency and fight could have been input by the manager making offensive substitutions to try and win the fucking game. It was like you didn't want to win the game. That was atrocious. And if United continue at the level they're at, the only saving grace is that Southampton, Ipswich, Wolves are not good enough to win enough points to overtake us. Because in another season, we would absolutely be relegation candidates. Absolutely. We are playing like we want to be relegated. And it might swing far too far for it to ever be recovered. And what's mad is I know Nottingham Forest had a season like this, like 2 years ago, and find themselves like actually kind of challenging for a title. I just don't think... I think they were a speedboat and United are an oil tanker, and sometimes it just takes a bit longer to turn an oil tanker around. And they also flirted with the rules a little bit in a way that I don't think United are going to do. I don't know how you fix this. Strap in. It's about to get worse than I ever envisaged it could have been. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.